Welcome back to the news at 10. Let's check in with Abuja now. Here's my colleague, Linda Akingbe. Linda.
Hello, Ijoma. Good to see you and welcome to Abuja, the nation's capital. The Senate has agreed with the House of Representatives to take over the legislative functions of the Kogi State House of Assembly, pending the restoration of normalcy in the Assembly. The Senate has also declared that the impeachment proceedings embarked upon by 5 members of the State Assembly is null and void. The upper chamber took these decisions after looking at the report from the House of Representatives in this matter. The Senate consequently directed the Inspector General of Police to seal the Kogi State House of Assembly complex until the matter is resolved.
The Kogi State House of Assembly has not been able to perform its legislative function as a result of the lingering crisis rocking the House, as confirmed by all the stakeholders in the state. The House has been under lock and key since the suspension of plenary on February 15, 2016, as none of the groups has held any meeting in the shadowed members. There is palpable tension and apprehension of possible security breach, which could lead to further distrust and breakdown in law and order. The division of the Kogi State House of Assembly cuts across party line and is prone to violence and insecurity. The National Assembly hereby invoke the powers conferred on it by Section 11, subsection 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to take over the legislative functions of the State House of Assembly pending the restoration of normalcy in the Assembly. Those in favor of prayer will say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Condemn the role played by the Nigerian police in subverting the provisions of the Constitution by providing cover for only 5 members out of the 22 members of the Kogi State House of Assembly to commit illegality. Those in favor of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Ekiti State House of Assembly are calling on the National Human Rights Commission to intervene on the arrest and detention of 4 members of the Ekiti State House of Assembly by the Department of State Services. The chairman of the House Committee on Health, Mr. Samuel Omotosho, who led the delegation, expressed frustration at how the Department of State Services has made it impossible for the detained members to have access to their families and lawyers. On his part, the Director of Media in the Commission, Mr. Lambert Okbara, assures the delegation that an investigation would be conducted into the matter.
From the State House of Assembly are here in furtherance of our agitation to get some of our members that are being detained illegally by the Directorate of the State Security Services to be released. On the 4th of March, they invaded the House of Assembly, and after the confusion, we realized that 4 of our members are actually missing. 4 days after, they confirmed to us that 1 is with them. And up to today, the one that they confirm is with them, Honorable Afolabi Akani, representing a Efon constituency, has been kept incommunicado. We've not been able to assess him. The lawyers cannot reach him. We don't know what is happening to him. They didn't communicate to us the offenses he has committed. And as law-abiding citizens, the government of Ekiti State approached the courts to enforce the fundamental human rights of the detainee.
The Department of State Services has debunked claims made by the Ekiti State government suggesting that Honorable Akoni Afolabi, a member of the Ekiti State House, died in its custody. While presenting the lawmaker, the DSS says it arrested the lawmaker a few weeks ago over some serious breaches bordering on state security, which falls under the purview of a DSS to investigate.
The fact is that one of the members of the Assembly, Honorable Akini Afolabi, was duly invited by the service over some serious breaches bordering on state security, and for which he has some explanations to make. These breaches fall under the purview of the DSS to investigate. This press conference has become necessary in order to debunk a rumor in which it is being dangerously spread in Ekiti State by some mischief makers to the effect that Honorable Afolabi has died in custody. Nigerians and Ekiti people in particular are convinced to see that Afolabi is ill and hearty as is being presented to the press today.
Back to you, Joma.
Thanks a lot, Linda, from the nation's capital, Abuja. Now let's take a look at some development issues now. The Anambra State Governor, Willie Obiano, has announced to the people of the state that 2 years into his administration and a very good foundation has been laid for sustainable development in the state. The governor made the pronouncement during a state broadcast marking his second anniversary in office.
It's been 2 years since Willie Obiano took office as governor of Anambra State. Proud of his administration's achievements, the governor reiterates that he and his team have done a good job in the provision of infrastructure, security, agriculture, trade and commerce, health, education, and other areas of economic development. In a statewide broadcast, he appreciated the people for their support.
I said that my vision was to make Anambra State the first choice investment destination and a hub for industrialization and commercial activities. We launched an all-out war against kidnappers, armed robbers, drug dealers, child traffickers. We smashed crime syndicates and pulled down the warehouses used for keeping kidnapper victims. We made sure that Anambra was effectively covered on land, in waters, and on the sky.
One of the priorities for the state in the last 2 years was security of lives and property. Governor Obiano believes that success in this area has led to the creation of over 50,000 direct jobs and a large volume of investment valued at $3.2 billion.
In specific terms, we have so far attracted 150 million from Cossack Farms project in Anambra, 50 million from Novatech Farms Limited at New Buenu, and 160 million from Joseph Agro and project in Omo, and $250 million found in tomato processing at Anambra. Indeed, the fire of agricultural revolution is raging in Anambra State. A visit to Ibadan or Anambra will validate this. Next is industrialization. Our objective in industrialization is to become one of the top 3 industrialized states in Nigeria.
Internally generated revenue has also been boosted through a deployment of cutting-edge technology and weeding out of ghost workers. The governor says he cannot do it alone and asks for more support from indigents to help realize the plans and policies of the government.
And back here in Lagos, the state governor, Akinwumi Ambode, today ordered the reopening of the Mile 12 market, which was shut following violent clashes in Agility area. The state's Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Steve Ayorinde, said the decision to reopen the market was reached after a meeting with all stakeholders, including traditional leaders, residents, and the Community Development Association. Some agreements reached include the prohibition of street trading in the area. All activities relating to the market would take place within the designated market premises, a ban on commercial motorcyclists in the area, and removal of shanties and illegal structures. Let's take a look at some business news for the day. Here's Anne Waudu.
You first. First Bank.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The Minister of Solid Minerals, Mr. Kayode Fayemi, has reaffirmed the readiness of the federal government to develop bitumen for commercial purposes and revenue generation. The minister, who made this known at the New Telegraph Economic Summit in Lagos, says the initiative will be developed in partnership with the private sector.
If you go down to Ondo State in Agbabu, you can literally pull out the bitumen from there. And we have not done much in this sector. So one of the things that we're going to be doing very soon is a bidding round on bitumen for those who are serious and ready to build bitumen processing plants in the country in order to exploit this mineral.
The key objectives of the interventions include providing enabling policy environment for increased lending to priority sectors, improving access to affordable and long-term funds to fast-track real sector development, de-risking lending to encourage financial institutions to finance priority sectors, incentivizing borrowers to encourage timely repayment, enhancing job creation, and promoting the diversification of our economic base.
Business executives, sector leaders, representatives of the National Assembly and the government today in Lagos discussed the findings and recommendations of a new research report on Nigeria looking beyond oil, jointly released by PricewaterhouseCoopers and the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Let me assure everyone here this morning that we are already making serious strides to actualize the administration's commitment to delivering on the change agenda. Indeed, we are repositioning the economy for inclusive growth and sustainable development by getting the fundamentals right through key fiscal, monetary, trade and investment policy reforms. We are committed to diversifying the economy away from overdependence on oil and creating an enabling environment to facilitate private sector-led growth and development. We are investing in critical infrastructure, embracing and encouraging the private sector, and advocating for greater social inclusion, particularly through job creation.
PZ Customs Nigeria's results for the third quarter ended February the 29th, 2016, was released to the Nigerian Stock Exchange today. The result, which comes in, is disappointing. It reflects a fall in revenue by a modest 4.22%, while profit before tax and profit after tax both fell sharply by 46.42% and 40.90% each. PZ Customs reports indicates a continuation of the deterioration trend seen under the current financial year. The personal care company is constrained by weak sales volume and pressure on margins. And the losing streak ended after trading today as the all-share index climbed 0.08% to end the day's session at 25,679.03. Bisi Adebayo has the details.
Hello and welcome to the stock market reports. The losing streak came to a halt today at the Nigerian equities market as key indicators eked out some gains. The all-share index climbed by 0.08% to end the session at 25,679.03. Market capitalization stood at 8.83 trillion naira. The massive trades of Wema Bank drove market volume higher at 6.86 million shares, valued at 7.68 billion naira, in 3,632 deals. Bank stocks were the major contributors to market turnover, led by Wema Bank, which pulled 6.66 billion units. FBNH followed with 44.67 million, while Zenith Bank came next with 31.74 million units. Unity Bank led 9 other percentage gainers, adding 4.48%. The list also includes Fidelity Bank and Nigerian breweries. 21 stocks declined, and top on that list was Access Bank. It was followed by Nascon and ICO. That ends the stock market reports. I am Bisi Adebayo.
And for markets across the globe, there were mixed sentiments today. Let's see some of the figures. It's a wrap in business news. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Mwawado. Back to you, Ijoma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Now, leading marketing communications firm Troika Holdings has achieved another milestone in offering quality service to domestic and international markets. This comes as the firm signed a new partnership deal with a world-class communications outfit, Publicis Group. Chairman of Troika Holdings, Mr. Pt.3 Shobanjo, says the deal will help raise the level of professionalism in the business of market communications.
The management and staff of Troika Holdings are here to announce a new partnership deal with the Publicis Group. Publicis Group, a leading world-class communication outfit, is expected to give Troika Holdings a head start to take on new opportunities in the market and communications industry. Chairman of Troika Holdings, Mr. Pt.3 Shobanjo, says the vision is to set the pace by redefining standards in marketing communications in Nigeria.
We can today announce that Publicis Group, the third largest communications holding company in the world, has entered into an equity partnership with the marketing communications arm of Troika. In line with APCON guidelines, they now hold 25% of the company's stocks. This, in effect, makes us a part of Publicis Group, a global leader in marketing, communication and business transformation, with offices in 108 countries and more than 76,000 marketing communications professionals.
He also explains the areas of common interest in the deal with the Publicis Group.
You could see they shared the kind of values that we did. People, clients. And that's the reason we opened our shops, to service clients and to develop our staff, and knowing full well that if those two equations work properly, we would maintain very enduring relationships with clients.
The managing director of All Seasons Media, a subsidiary of the Troika Holdings, Dr. Ken Unyali Ikwe, explains what the 25% equity from the Publicis Group entails.
The real essence is to get the partnership to affect our businesses. And how does it affect our businesses? It will upscale our skill set, give us exposure that will classify us as an international company.
As this new partnership between Troika Holdings and the Publicis Group takes off, it remains to be seen how far-reaching the value of this deal will be on the nation's marketing communications industry.
Still ahead on the news at 10, former FIFA President Sepp Blatter makes final bid to overturn a 6-year ban on him, files an appeal at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. That's beyond sports. Do join us again.